Hello my healthy friends, my name's Malia, and on this channel I share my healing journey with healing digestive and hormonal issues. So in this video I'm going to be talking about 6 truths about people who have chronic IBS or digestive issues, and really just people who have chronic whatever issues, whatever disorder or illness. It could be hormonal, could be so many of the kind of systemic challenges that a lot of us in the 21st century are dealing with because of the polluted and environments that we live in and all of the exposure to the toxic load we have in our current society. So let's go through the truths. Truth number 1. We live pretty healthy lifestyles. So I think this is really important. And again, this video is really for people who've experienced chronic digestive issues for many years. And the reason why I feel like this truth number 1 is that we live really healthy lifestyles is so important is that everyone I've talked to who is going through this is trying a lot. Like, we are taking supplements, we are drinking lots of water, we are trying to get good sleep, we are trying to eat very fresh, whole plant foods and veggies and whatever protein works best with your body, whether that's plant-based or animal-based. Like, we are watching YouTube videos, we are reading articles, like we are doing so many things to try and heal. And what's so interesting is that having a chronic illness like IBS or SIBO or, any of the other kind of digestive, hormonal things, is it often feels like I'm not healthy. Like I'm having these symptoms, and one of my symptoms is having acne, and so people perceive me as being less healthy because my skin doesn't look as good, and I feel like I'm not being healthy. And I feel like people see someone who has a chronic illness like this and it's like, oh, well, if you just changed your diet, or maybe if you just fixed this or that, took another supplement, did whatever, you'd be better, you would heal. So that's why I just think it's really important that a big truth about people like us is that for the most part, we live really, really healthy lifestyles, and I would argue usually healthier than the average person in the United States. Truth number 2 is that we are doing everything that we can to heal. I promise you, we are doing everything that we can based upon the capacity that we have. And what I mean by that is our emotional capacity, our mental capacity, also our resources, what financial resources we have, our time, how much time we have to be able to deal with this. Trust me, we are doing everything that we can. And I know for me, 7-8 years ago, when I was in my early 20s trying to heal these issues, I didn't have financial capital. I was working jobs and going to school. Like, I didn't have the same capacity and resources to try and heal myself. So, I did the best that I could at that time. And as I've gotten older and I've gotten more money and I've, been able to, just understand how to navigate the medical system more. That's another thing, right? Your knowledge, your ability to understand how to advocate for yourself in medical spaces, has really helped me to be able to get more healing. So that's just a really big truth, is that I promise you, most of us, all of us, are doing everything that we can do to heal. Truth number 3, we are experiencing a financial impact from having this chronic disorder or chronic illness. Turns out having IBS is pretty expensive. Having hormonal issues is really expensive. Now, the reason why it's really expensive is because our current Western medical system does not know how to treat these types of symptoms. So what I've experienced over and over and over and over and over again is I communicate to my doctors or to my specialists, to the GI doctors under my health insurance. Hey, I'm having these symptoms. I've done some research. I think that this may be what it is, or I think that I may need to get this, this test or receive this treatment. And then they respond to me like, oh, sorry, that's not our standard practice of care. We cannot prescribe that to you. We can't give you this test. La, 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 la. Like, it's so bullshit. It's total bullshit. So basically, they just either think you're crazy and they think you're causing your symptoms, or they literally cannot test you because their stupid computers and the way in their requirements, basically they don't understand these complex systemic types of chronic illnesses. So what that means is that I have to personally take on the burden of hiring a naturopath or taking tests that my health insurance will not cover, or buying supplements that my health insurance will not, like a doctor would not actually prescribe because under their practice of care they can't, but my naturopath can. It's expensive, okay? It's expensive to heal from chronic IBS. I think I've easily sunk $4,000 to $5,000 on healing myself in the past 5 years, with it being really concentrated in the past 2 years since working with a naturopath. Okay, number four, what's another truth about people who have chronic digestive issues is that we are learning a ton about our body and about our health. That's one thing that I think I could even say is a silver lining about having a chronic illness, is that I have learned so much about how the digestion system works, what is the gut microbiome, how do I support a healthy culture, what is acne, why do we have acne, what does the current medical system understand about these symptoms, about chronic diarrhea, about bloating, about all this, why, how does what I eat affect this? What about these supplements? It's like when you really start to take ownership for your healing, because no one's going to do it for us, right? No one's going to do it for you. And you start to learn, I have had to be an advocate for myself. And the only way I could do that was by researching and deeply understanding the challenges that I'm having and what the current consensus is based on different kind of medical perspectives about how to treat my illness. So, I would argue that a lot of people who have chronic digestive issues are learning a lot about their health, and they probably know more about their body and their health than the average person. Okay, truth number 5. People who have chronic digestive issues are often cycling through hope and fear. Now, this is a really challenging thing to navigate. It's really hard. It's been hard on me, with my partner, with my family, with my friends. I could talk a lot about this, but the reality is there are moments in my healing journey where I feel optimistic, I feel hopeful, I feel like maybe I've reached another answer, and once I do a treatment, I will have, healed a significant amount. And then there are times in my healing journey where I feel exhausted. I feel so tired. I feel so sad. I feel depressed, despondent. I feel scared, really scared. And I just feel hopeless. And it's just like, it's been so long. It's been so long. Like, why haven't I figured it out? Like, why? I'm so tired of doing this over and over again. So that's just the roller coaster in my experience of trying to heal chronic IBS or SIBO or hormonal stuff, whatever it is. It's just a part of it. And I'm going to guess that a lot of people go through that same thing. Okay, let's get to the last truth. Truth number 6. People who have chronic digestive issues don't need your advice unless they ask for it. This is just kind of like, I think, it's a good value for any part of your life, like for any relationship. But especially with these types of chronic issues, it's like a lot of people, unless you specialize in chronic IBS and all, whatever symptom you're dealing with or whatever like challenge you're dealing with, like no one knows what the frick they're talking about. They're like, oh, try this diet or maybe this supplement, or, oh, what about Ayurveda, or have you tried Chinese medicine? Like, have you tried acupuncture? Have you tried this? It's like, I know it's coming from a good place. It's coming from a good intention, and I can appreciate that. And I'm sure you can appreciate that too when your loved ones are trying to give you advice. But it's just like I don't really want it. It brings me down. It's like, I just want to share my hopes and my fears about this chronic illness that's really challenging to navigate. And, if I do want advice, I'm definitely going to ask for it. So those are some truths that I have come to, that I know about myself and that I'm assuming are pretty true for other people. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.